It's Coffee Break. 148 episodes.
We're so close to 150.
Yep, we're gonna get there soon. It's sadly the week after Halloween.
Yeah.
149 will be Halloween next week.
Nice.
You heard me rolling up my sleeves? I'm sorry, I should have did that before I hit record.
I don't think people care about hearing fabric like sleeve rolling up. I could be wrong.
Yeah, there could be someone. Elon Musk. We're gonna start this off with our South African friend here.
Yippee.
He's being sued because of his robo-taxi design.
Oh.
He's not the only one being sued. Warner Brothers is being sued.
Oh, you'll love to see it.
And that they're being sued over his use of it because it looks identical to the one that's used in the movie Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
I hope a lot of his quote-unquote inventions are really just obviously copied off of some movie. Like
Yep.
those
robots.
like human robots.
Yep.
They look like
iRobot.
yeah, exactly.
He also had like a double-decker bus or something like that. That was also taken from the movie.
He's just a painfully uncreative loser.
It's weird that like you can be inspired by the movies, yes, but you don't have to straight up make a rip-off of it.
Yeah. It's lame.
It is.
It's honestly really lame.
It's weak, and it's weak coming from a guy who he's been just horrible.
Wretched person.
Why would you want any of his products when all the recalls on the Cybertruck, people got cut touching it.
I saw a video where all they did was they gently slammed the door. Not even like a hard slam with like a bodybuilder or anything. Just kind of slammed it as if you were in an argument and you slammed your car door a little too hard. And the entire inside got stuck and completely tore apart because of how horribly made.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got the other thing where people are polishing them. Mm-hmm. And now they're reflective.
And which is, I would say, super illegal because you can't see it.
But no law has been made for this yet.
Because no moron has been dumb enough to make a car that can be a mirror.
Yeah, I don't even know why you'd want that, other than to show it off, like at a convention.
I guess.
But you can't have that as a daily driver.
See, that's the thing. That's all his quote-unquote inventions are all about. It's a thing to show off and to go, wow, isn't that neat? But he has no actual interest or care about its practical uses.
Yeah.
Because he's a loser.
Them the SpaceX going to save the astronauts that are stuck up at the station.
Yeah.
I'm very, very scared for them.
I'm like, why not, I don't know, NASA?
NASA's the one who said they wanted to use SpaceX for this.
Oh, NASA, no.
So, John Wick will have an anime prequel.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's making it?
The guys who made John Wick.
I meant who's the animation studio.
I didn't look that up.
It might be too early to know.
But I do know the plot of it. Not the whole plot, but like what it's really about. Mm-hmm. And it's about John Wick having to do a series of basically impossible tasks in order to become an assassin.
Okay, that makes sense. I appreciate the animated medium. I think it will lend itself well to the fun of the John Wick style.
Yeah.
Especially since, like, the gun kata, is that what it's referred to?
They call it Gun Fu, I think. That used to be the original name.
It's gotten a little overdone. Like, John Wick was really big and popular, and now everyone's doing it. And so it's a little, like, it's lost its unique appeal, you know?
Yeah.
So animation could totally jazz it up, and I think that'll be fun.
Good. No, I'm just, when is John Wick gonna end?
I don't know. It's kind of like, what's that one? Horizon. Where they keep making, like, sequels and prequels and spin-offs and stuff, and I'm like, I mean, it's cool, and I know people enjoy it, but who's asking for this stuff?
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Why Lego Horizon?
Yeah.
John Wick prequel anime is not the only thing. They also have Ballerina, which is a live-action spin-off.
See, the world of John Wick never seemed that big.
No.
Like, the idea of, like, a assassin league is neat, but I don't need more.
They did the Continental. That was a 3-part series.
Yeah.
That was okay. I guess I don't appreciate John Wick as much as John Wick fans do. Because in my honest opinion, I've only seen the first 3, and
the third one was horrible.
Third one's just a bad movie.
I fell asleep.
It was great action fighting, but that's all it is. Mm-hmm. The second one was not good.
Here's the thing. When we talk about John Wick, we talk about the dog.
John Wick 1.
And no one ever talks about anything else in any of those other movies because they don't have anything nearly as memorable or substantial as the dog.
Yeah. Yeah. The first movie, amazing. Mm-hmm. Crazy. Just that concept of like, oh, I'm going to rob this guy and I killed his puppy. Mm-hmm. Turns out, hey, some master assassin who's just going to hunt you down and your whole family and kill you.
Yeah, that was the fun twist of it.
Yeah.
And now that's the only thing that's happening. It's like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah. Vox Machina will get a season 4.
Oh!
We haven't started watching season 3 yet.
No, we haven't. We're in a part of the story that I'm not super in love with. So I've been kind of personally dragging my heels on it.
Okay. It's been hard to find time to sit down and watch anything now. Because you got football and you got all these other projects.
We could just not watch football.
Okay.
Personally, in my opinion, I say we could cut football.
as I'm wearing my nice Cardinals shirt.
I was telling you this the other day. Like, I was sitting in front of the TV. I wasn't on my phone or anything. Like, there was nothing else to distract me. And you came up and you said, "Did you see that play?" And I went, "No." Even when nothing's distracting me, I don't care. I'm not watching the game.
Wow. Thank you for taking an interest in my hobbies.
I tried. I know their names and I know your favorite teams, but I'm sorry. Why has it got to be so long?
Okay. Season 2 of Fallout will begin filming in November next month.
I'm excited.
That means it's on track to drop summer or fall of next year.
I bet they wanted to jump on it pretty quickly because of how well the first season went.
Yeah, but by the time it will have been a year past since the first season debuted, it still won't be there. Mm-hmm. Shows are just taking longer to make, I guess.
Yeah. I'd rather it take longer and be good than rushed and be bad.
Yes.
So, what are you gonna do?
Well, with that idea in mind, I was reading about the Harry Potter television remake, and they were like, "No, this is a great opportunity for us to show off more magic and of the wizarding world, because you can do a lot more episodically than having just a 2-hour film."
I agree.
And I was like, yeah, so on paper, this is a great idea, but what are you going to actually fill all that extra time with?
Yeah, that's the thing.
How am I going to have to just watch them do homework?
Okay, because so much of the books is, like, actually not important.
No.
Like, all the stuff people whine and complain that didn't make it into the movies, like Peeves. You didn't need Peeves. We've learned that in the movies.
Yeah, well, Peeves would have been just a magical character. Mm-hmm. And putting that character back in would be fine. It's... Every time they go to Hogsmeade, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or when they're shopping at Diagon Alley before the year begins. Does any of that really matter?
Mm-hmm. It's all, like, re-expository things to, like, remind the reader of what this world is about and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's a couple ones I think of. In, I think, the 6th one... Dean is dating Ginny, and that's like a huge thing in the books. They won't shut up about it. It's also Ron trying to be good at Quidditch. It just takes forever and drags on for like a million chapters. In the movies, it's like 1 or 2 few scenes and they get past it. And I'm like, I don't want to waste my time on that.
Here's the thing. In the movie, yeah, they show off those 2 things. They cut out the biggest, most interesting part of that story. The entire backstory of why Tom Riddle becomes Voldemort.
I will give you that, yeah. That was kind of important.
It's literally like a giant chapter. It's a huge chapter where you learn about his mom and his dad and the grandpa.
Yeah.
And why he's alone in this world. Mm-hmm. The ring that he had the Salazar Slytherin, right? That's a family heirloom because he is actually related to the Slytherins.
Yeah, it also it explains like some kind of stuff. Like they explain that the love spell that what's Harry's mom's name? Harry's mom, Lily. The love spell she cast, anyone could technically attempt to perform, but you die when you do it. But another thing was because Voldemort was like the whole circumstances around his mother and father meant he was more susceptible to it or something. There was a whole reasoning behind it that explained other huge plot holes from the films.
Yeah.
So, I agree. They should have had that one in the movie.
Yeah. And that, you're like, that could be a whole episode, and that'd be fun. It is, not okay.
No, but that was kind of the point.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. What you thought he grew up with flowers around him?
Yeah, it's the thing is, all this stuff we're talking about is in, like, the last few books.
Yeah.
With the first, we're going to start at the beginning. The only thing I can really think that they cut out of the movie that was from the books, other than, like, yeah, Harry being mildly amazed by various random magical events, is there was, like, a potion problem Hermione had to solve after the chessboard, but before they got to the giant chessboard, but before they got to the mirror at the end.
Oh, there was another trial.
There was. They abandoned Ron, and then Hermione and Harry did this potion thing where Hermione did all the work, and then Harry was like, I'm gonna keep going, you should go back for Ron. Like, yeah, he's like hurt. I can't believe you guys abandoned him.
He might die. Yeah, and then just a fun thing, go look this up on your own. They had a different idea of what Voldemort would look like.
Yeah.
And he looked like a humanoid reptilian.
Which is how he's described in the books.
Yes.
Which makes more sense.
That would have been scary.
As much as I like Ralph Fiennes, I think it would have had more of an impact if he had the real snake face.
It would have been cool if he would transform into that.
Yeah.
Like when he's fighting.
Like as he slowly gets stronger, he gets more and more
snake-like.
Yeah. Less human.
See how snake-like I can be.
Symbolism.
Okay, American Psycho film is in works. This is not a reboot or a remake. This is just a whole new beginning for the franchise?
Franchise, question mark, parentheses. I don't think it really needs to be a franchise.
Shouldn't it be a franchise? Beloved book.
Mm-hmm.
Hated by many.
Misunderstood by many.
Yes.
A lot of people I've seen are like, because there's been posts like, who would you cast as Patrick Bateman?
Yep.
And some people are being like, oh, this female actress. Or, oh, this, like, Hispanic or black or Asian actor. And it's like, no, he has to be a white guy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's, like, kind of a whole point.
That's a lot of the point of his story, because he grew up as a prominent, white, rich kid.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he's such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he does do racial motivated crimes in the book.
Mm-hmm.
The entire point of redoing this movie, or the attempt to redo it, is to be more faithful to the book.
Mm-hmm.
So because the Christian Bale one,
mm-hmm.
I love it. It's a great comedy.
Yes.
But the book wasn't that funny.
Yeah.
There's also a lot more killing.
It's not like an inaccurate adaptation, but a slightly different direction.
Yeah.
So yeah, we both had the same idea on who we would cast as Patrick Bateman.
Glenn Powell.
100%.
Yep.
I think he would be, if not Patrick, then
Paul Allen.
Yes.
Yes.
I know it's not a remake or anything, but I do hope they at least allude to the, my God, it even has a watermark scene.
That's in the book.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's just the way it's acted. It's so funny to just think about.
Mm-hmm. Exciting.
It is exciting.
Oh, do you also have that a new Carrie is in the works?
So Carrie, it's not in here, but yeah, we could talk about how Carrie is now going to be a 6-episode show.
Yeah, by Mike Flanagan, I think I saw.
How? He's busy doing Exorcist.
Maybe it wasn't Mike. Maybe it was someone else. I hope. Maybe I just wanted it to be Mike.
It could be. He could produce it.
That's another one where I'm seeing people being like, okay, this time around, let's actually cast an actress who isn't conventionally attractive, because that's kind of the point of Carrie.
Was she good looking?
No, she was, like, in the movie or in the
Yeah.
book? In the movie, she was a pretty actress. She was also supposed to be, like...
Pretty liberal with pretty.
Well, she was also supposed to be overweight, was a thing. And that's why they use pig's blood for their big prank. Because she's a pig, because she's fat. That was the whole joke.
It's body shaming, got it.
Mm-hmm.
They should bring that back.
You can't say that.
I don't like Stephen King that much.
I don't either.
You talk about him a lot to me.
I've read so many of his books. That's how I know I don't like him. Like, in hindsight, I'm like, oh, that wasn't good.
Yeah, I get it. He wrote like 100 different books a year.
Mm-hmm.
But none of them have been like really good, gripping stories.
No, because
He has moments of coolness, but then, yeah, as you keep going,
Mm-hmm.
you get into just like how it's like a giant multiversal thing and
Yeah, it's because he doesn't
his
plan out...
drug addiction.
100%.
Yeah.
He doesn't plan out the endings for his stories, and that's why it'll take him years to finish one, because he'll write everything up until the finale, because he doesn't know how it's supposed to end. And so he just kind of comes up with something eventually. So all these, like, threads he was supposedly weaving throughout the story,
Don't mean anything
most of the time don't go anywhere.
because he's forgotten about them.
Mm-hmm.
He's a terrible writer.
And the other thing is, if he really doesn't know, his scapegoat is always, oh, well, it can connect to the Dark Tower series somehow.
Yeah.
And so lots of plot threads get roped into the Dark Tower, which means it's even harder to follow than ever before.
Nice. Gandalf is in a lot of the Lord of the Ring movie ideas at Warner Brothers Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
And Ian McKellen said he's excited to play more Gandalf.
That's very fun.
was-
I love him.
He's already going to star in the next 2 upcoming films, The Search for Gollum, The Hunt for Gollum,
One of them.
The Scouring of Gollum.
Where's Gollum? And he's like dressed like Where's Waldo? And he's shrugging.
I want to see what stories they want to try and tell.
Yeah, Gandalf has so much he can do.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be... I would love one day, eventually, to see the Blues. Someday.
That could be a story.
I would love that. It'd be cool.
I want to see the story of the Witch King of Agmar and why he's the one who looks like that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
We could talk about the Rings of Power. What about before the Rings of Power? What about after?
We can learn about the Silmarils.
Yeah, the Silmarils.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other things you can do. I really wonder what they have up there on their wall. I bet there's like an idea of a home renovation show of just the Shire.
No, I mean, we would watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody would watch it.
Yeah. And it would deserve all the flack it gets.
Mm-hmm.
It is Warner Brothers Discovery. They did make Velma. And
Yeah.
it took them 2 years to figure out this wasn't a good idea. Like, it's way too late
They
to be like,
purposefully bought Ruby.
to kill it.
Yeah.
I love that. The Velma thing. And they let that Halloween special leak out.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, there's an extra, like, there was a special, and then after the special came out, they're like, yeah, we're done with this.
Wow. That's so embarrassing. No wonder you're getting sued.
Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland has been officially confirmed to begin filming next summer.
So keep your eyes peeled
All we
for
know-
all the leaks, because it'll be non-stop.
All we know is that the director of Shang-Chi and Tom Holland and Zendaya are part of this film.
Cool. I'm not jazzed with Zendaya being in it. Mostly because I'm just hoping for, like, a new direction. A fresh new start.
I wonder if he's, like, being a creep and watching her, even though he can't talk to her.
Yeah, I really hope we don't do that.
And then he meets, like, other people.
I would hope so. I would like that direction.
I also like that Ned is not mentioned in any of these.
What's he doing?
He's pretending to be a vampire on Sci-Fi.
Oh, is that still happening?
I think it is.
Wow, good for him.
Kind kind of weird to start out at Spider-Man and end up on a vampire TV show. I feel like you kind of fell down a little bit.
Next is werewolves somewhere.
Yeah. Tom and Zendaya sat down and read the script, and Tom said that it excited him. He's very excited about this.
So that's cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, you kind of have to tell another Spider-Man story before we get to Doomsday.
Yeah.
Because if Doomsday is really about Peter Parker, befriending, looking up to Doctor Doom?
Oh.
Because he's going to look like...
Right, because he's going to be... I keep forgetting. Yeah. Ugh.
And it's a clear and obvious way to go with that plot.
Yeah. I would really like it. I think it would be funny if we never saw his face. Like, it was Robert Downey Jr. in there, but we never see his face.
Yep.
That'd be funny.
There's also, like, weird rumors that, it's the Scarlet Witch. Is his wife in the universe that he's from.
Okay.
Which I was like, he's already Doctor Doom. You don't need to give him more power.
It's a lot of these rumors are like, and then this other character I really like gets to arbitrarily come back. And it's like, can't we have all these new people. I want these people, not the old ones.
Yeah. Well, there's also just like this, because of Agatha all along, everyone's like, Scarlet Witch can't be dead. She's still alive. And it's like, just get over it.
Yeah, I'm like, I want her to be dead.
The tower fell on her. It was over.
It's boring. We've exhausted her character arcs. You can have a character live and die, and have other characters continue to grow and develop because of the influence they had on their lives. You think Marvel fans would know this, given how many characters have died, and how important it was to others. But no.
Well, the funny part is, she started out in the MCU as a bad guy and died as a bad guy.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really any growth there.
Yeah.
You just got to spend this weird journey with her and her fake family.
Oh, wait, she did get to do one thing. She's the entire reason the Sokovia Accords exists.
Yes. Yes, so she's never done anything beneficial to the MCU.
Good job.
Daredevil Born Again will be released next March.
Hooray! Finally.
So the wait is now over. We have new Daredevils coming March.
Hour-long episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know. And isn't it like 20 episodes or something?
It's like 25-ish to 24-ish.
This is going to be a lot of Daredevil.
That's good.
I'm a little worried.
I'm not.
I don't want it to be like Penguin.
Oh, we'll get the Penguin.
Yeah.
How can it be like Penguin?
I don't know. What are you going to do for 26 hours?
But Matt Murdock?
Mm-hmm.
He's a lawyer by day and mass vigilante by night. You can't have a boring story there.
More lawyer stuff, please.
I hope there is like a lot of courtroom drama. And then, yes, I want a lot of fighting action.
Remember how he was in Spider-Man 3 for one scene, and then all of that lawyer stuff went nowhere anyway?
Yep.
That was great. Super fun.
They just wanted to put that one character, Matt, in there, so we all freaked out and lost our minds, and the movie hadn't even started yet.
That's true.
And then
it doesn't start till the halfway point.
No, not until Strange does his thing.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this is what the movie is.
It takes so long.
It was just, it's half a bad Spidey movie.
It is. Half of it's really good.
Yeah, and the other half is like, oh, you're just digging into the previously made Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
I like No Way Home, and I love the way they approach the multiverse with it. And it is fun to see everybody come back. That is the reward as a fan.
Yes.
But now it's just their gimmick.
Yes, so, they've overdone it.
Yeah, now I just look at it and go, yeah, that's the beginning of just whatever the hell the MCU decided to do. Which is sad, because I was looking back at... I really didn't want to talk about Marvel this much. I'm sorry. I was looking back at the first 3 phases, the Infinity War saga. And I was like, look at how well structured that was.
It so was.
Phase 3 begins with Civil War. Phase 3, it doesn't end with Endgame, but I know, despite the name, when you get to that point, what has to happen for Endgame, for them to succeed in Endgame? They have to, Tony and Stark, Jesus,
Tony and Stark.
Tony and Steve have to put their differences aside and team up again
What's the thing? We
to
don't.
take out the threat.
Marvel nowadays can't decide if it wants to do that again and like rebuild a new squad,
They should
or
have.
just do a bunch of unrelated, random side stories that kind of hint to other characters here or there.
Yeah.
And it's a mess. It's such a mess.
It's going to be weird when Doomsday comes out because you're going to see a new lineup of the Avengers and you can be like, those aren't my guys.
Yeah.
And you haven't done anything previously to set up what this team would actually look like.
And none of them have interacted with each other
Not
at
really.
all. And so it's going to be a lot of like characters just meeting each other for the first time.
Let's see how Thunderbolts goes.
Yeah.
Because that's already a story of villains coming together.
The poster was great, but a great poster does not make for a great movie.
Yeah, but it's not a great poster when you realize it's just a ripoff of This Is the End's poster.
It is. It really is.
So it's not really a good poster, is it? Blade. I know. No more Marvel. Blade is no longer on the released slate.
Yeah.
It seems like they've completely axed it. They could bring it back. I think it's funny and interesting. I wanted to bring this up because remember when we started doing questions every week, one of the questions was, what do you think will happen with Blade?
Yeah.
And here it is. This is the real answer. So we get to find out that they're... Oh, I stubbed my finger. We get to find out what happened. And
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing gets to happen.
it turns out Wesley Snipes gets to keep his role.
It's just, like, it keeps... Just do it at this point. You know, even if it's bad, at least make the stupid damn movie at this point.
Yeah.
Stop. It's like a zombie. It's half living, half dead. Just do it. What else are you doing?
Here's the other thing. Where would he go in the MCU?
Where has any of them go? Where's Shang-Chi going?
He's
Where's
in that...
Moon Knight going? None of them are going anywhere, so what do they have to lose?
Yeah, this doesn't make sense to me. They seem to be scared to do another crossover. Mm-hmm. But they want the Avengers to do it. Whatever. Okay. After years and years of development, lots and lots of pre-production done towards God of War, a live-action adaptation.
Yeah.
Because Sony... When the games first came out, we wanted this. Mm-hmm. And now it's been quite some time.
Yeah.
And they finally just hit the reset button and got a whole new team that's starting it up all over again.
Great.
And I was like, nothing came of it before. Mm-hmm. The closest we've ever gotten to live action adaptation of it was a trailer for God of War 3 or Ascension.
A long time ago.
Do you remember that?
No.
There was a live action version of Kratos in that where his skin started peeling because he was all pale and it started revealing the red markings underneath.
Okay.
It was cool. It was cool. I was like, that's awesome, but that's all we got. And I was like, oh, they're going to work towards it. That was years ago.
I don't want a live action.
Well, here's my question, because Sony seems still gung-ho about this. Do you want, question of the week, do you want a live action God of War or a fully animated God of War?
See, that's what I want, because it's going to be so CG heavy already because of all the, I don't know, magic and everything. So just make it animated, because the CG, it never is going to look quite right with live action incorporation. Mm-hmm. At least with the kind of effects we currently have in this modern day and age. Just make it animated, and then you don't need to worry about it. And then you don't need to worry about like costumes and getting people to look right. You can just make them look right by animating it.
True.
Do that.
But there could be upsides to seeing a live action one.
I guess.
Just to see someone that size running around with dual blades.
Yeah, good luck finding a person that huge. The dual blades thing's really like hammered home. Like, oh, I don't want that guy running at me. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know how you could practically do his chains, just because he would cross them over constantly, trying to do his combos. And would you just retell the story? That's not part of the question, but if you wanted to go in there and jump in and talk about that in the comments. Mm-hmm. For me, I would say adapt the comic series that was based on the Egyptian gods. Mm. That would be a fun story to tell.
That would be cool to see, yeah.
Because now we've got Greek and Norse.
Yeah.
Let's get the ancient Egyptian.
Yeah, cool.
So that's the question of the week. Ubisoft says that they're playing around with ideas of Rayman.
Oh, are they?
With the original creator, I was looking at Rayman, and I was like, I forgot Ubisoft used to make games like this.
Yeah.
Rabbids.
Remember when Rabbids was a thing other than just those guys that hang out with Mario sometimes?
Yes. They had their own thing going on. And
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, like Prince of Persia, which just finally came back.
Yeah.
Because it's been mostly just Assassin's Creed and that Star Wars game that seriously flopped.
Woof. Yeah.
And you notice no one's talking about that game. It came and went like that.
It's crazy. Like, because Rayman is like a platformer, right?
Yeah.
People are still clamoring for platformers.
Yeah.
That love never went away. And all of these big companies are sitting on all these franchises with big, popular...
It's their IP to sit on and do nothing with.
Every single time they do one, like Spyro or Crash, those ones came out recently. They were big hits. People raved about them. And everyone goes, maybe we'll get more. And then they don't. And then someone will come out and be like, oh, I have Rayman. Maybe I'll do something with this. And everyone will be like, yeah, we've been asking for this.
What happened to Skylanders?
It's still around, technically.
Remember the toys? That was one of the biggest gimmicks to that.
Yeah.
That eventually became the Amiibos, which Amiibos aren't really sold at stores anymore.
No, I don't really...
You have to order them online.
I don't even think I remember them announcing any new Amiibos or anything. I think Zelda was the last time we saw some new Amiibos.
Yeah, and it was just for
Yeah.
Wizard Wyndham's.
Wizard Wyndham's.
What's it called?
Tears of the Kingdom?
No.
Breathing too hard. Wind
The new
Waker?
one that just came out.
Wind Waker. Oh, Echoes of Wisdom. Wizard Wyndham's. I understand what you meant now. No, yeah, I think it just became the games aren't fun enough to warrant purchasing the Skylanders for anymore.
Okay.
I think.
I would have thought because of how successful it was to begin with, they would have just kept going with that idea.
Yeah, you'd think.
Because at one point Nintendo was like, we'll do that with Star Fox.
Yeah.
What was it? Star Zero?
Yeah, the one that didn't go anywhere.
And that for some reason that failed because they didn't market it right and it was during the wrong time, the Wii U era.
Uh-huh.
And then they just said, no one wants Star Fox anymore.
They keep doing that.
And we're all going, what?
Remember,
No one said that.
remember when there was the Nintendo Direct where it's like, you want F-Zero?
Yeah.
And everyone went, OMG, yes I do! We're like, F-Zero 99. And they're like, no, not this.
I feel like that was just an FU from them.
Yeah, an F-U-Zero.
Yeah, an FU0. Banjo-Tooie will be released on the Nintendo Switch expansion pack.
2 days from now.
Yep, very soon.
It's so exciting.
It's cool that Ubisoft, Microsoft
Both equally bad companies.
was willing to give up Banjo-Tooie.
Finally. I bet they did it because
The
Gruntilda's...
reboot is happening.
I was gonna say Gruntilda's a witch and it's Halloween. And they're like, witch for Halloween season. Because they don't know what actually happens in the game.
Maybe.
She's also technically...
It's also the holidays. It's not just Halloween. Dude.
She's also technically the Living Dead, so you get a double whammy of the scaries.
Okay.
I'm gonna play it. I love it. I mean, I love both of them, but I've played the first one more. So I'm gonna play the second one some more. Yay.
I guess I would play the second one.
Have you ever played it?
What?
Have you ever played it? Have you played? I know you played the first one.
I own both of them.
Oh, I didn't know. You don't talk about it very often.
Why would I? That's your game.
What do you mean, why would you?
Now that we're done talking about your game, we're going to talk about my game, Silent Hill 2. Yes, I played Banjo-Tooie. I grew up playing it.
What's your favorite level?
My favorite level?
Uh-huh.
It's the dinosaur level.
Oh, I hate that level.
I always thought it was really cool until I got up into that lake thing in the middle of the mountain and a giant monster came out of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is called Nightmares. I hated the circus. I hated the mines.
You didn't like the circus?
The mines suck.
The mines do suck.
Jolly Roger Lake.
Bad one.
Oh, how are you supposed to logically realize that you need to hold your breath long enough to get down past a certain part in order for the water to be oxidized?
That's not how that works.
That's how it worked for me.
You did something wrong.
Yeah.
You just need to find a
It's called
globe.
I Don't Read.
There's just a Globo, and like you could buy it at Pano's shop for a couple of doubloons, and then you give the Globo to Mumbo, and then he'll do Mumbo magic and oxidize the water for you. Did you never do that? I think you broke the game.
I remember, yeah, I was in the water for quite some time, just like, how am I supposed to do this? And I was like, there's like an opening right there, and I'll swim through that.
It's like when I learned my mother beat the Fire Temple in Ocarina of Time without ever buying the red tunic. So the fire damage was constantly killing her. And she was just like, I guess I just have to slowly go through the temple. And when I die, I go back to the beginning and I start slowly going through it more than ever. And she beat the game that way.
She beat the temple.
Yes, well, she went on to beat the game. One time, Allison beat the water temple in Twilight Princess without raising the water level all the way. She just, like glitched her way up into the area and activated the, like loading zone that sent her to the boss.
What the? Okay.
She was like, the water temple is super easy. And we're like, no, it's not. And
Yeah.
she's like, it took me like 3 minutes. And we're like, you did something wrong.
So, Silent Hill 2. Mm-hmm. I've got some problems with it. And I figured I'd talk about it here because I was very excited about Silent Hill. You can see the gameplays. Sorry, I changed it from a stream to just being pre-recorded.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like this was not the game to stream.
Understandable.
I also kind of needed a little more control over my audio.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's still hot despite it's almost Halloween.
Yeah.
So I need the air conditioner running and things are happening around me.
Yep.
So I'll get back to streaming with a different game. For now, we're going to keep playing Silent Hill.
Nice.
That'll be on Saturdays. Where I'm at with this game, it is one of the most ugliest games I've ever played. I hate whatever the hell they're doing with the background. If you watch the background really closely, you start to see this like orb, or you'll see multiple orbs, and they're like kind of weird shades of what the background colors are, but you can watch them move. And as they move, they're like phasing through the game, and they're just randomly like scribbling things.
Is it part of the Silent Hill?
No.
Dang.
That I have no idea. The leaves, you can see when it blows that there's like, again, that phasing where the leaf like drags. It has like a, like if you had a watercolor pencil or marker.
I think it's, I don't know. I was going to say something, but I was like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't just talk at my ass about something I don't understand.
I've never seen this done before.
Like a frame rate thing, maybe?
If that's a frame rate issue on my PS5,
Is it the TV?
no, I think it's a bad game.
I don't know. I think you have unreasonably high standards for gameplay graphics.
As for the character designs, they are ugly. James' haircut, they should have fixed that. I can't stand looking at him with his bangs barely touching his eyes, but he looks very irritated about it.
I'm going to be honest, I think he's supposed to look like a mess.
And then, yeah, the other characters are just weird. His interactions with them are almost comical.
Yeah, he's not a good guy.
He really just kind of seems to leave them in this horrible town because he's like, I gotta go find my dead wife. And everyone's like, okay, bye.
You may be the protagonist of the game, but you are not a hero.
No, no. And they made it a very faithful adaptation. They didn't add much of anything to it. It's basically just the original game rebuilt with semi-modern graphics. Oh, voice acting, horrible. Don't even talk to me about it. It is god-awful. You can feel like when they're reading off the lines, and then like sometimes you feel like they're recorded in a hallway. You can hear how bad the audio quality is. It's anyways, because it's such a faithful recapturing of this film or game, it kind of lets me down because I was like, oh, when you announced this project, you guys used Resident Evil 2 as like your inspiration. And what happened there, between the original Resident Evil 2 and the Resident Evil 2 that we have today, the one that I just finished, right? It's a total like remaster, redoing of the game. It's a third-person shooter.
Updating the gameplay.
Yeah, you have
mechanics.
Mr. X who can now follow you into other rooms. You get to play a lot more with it. The zombies are a lot like scarier and realistic. You know, you can blow off their limbs. It's such a really awesome way to re-envision such an old and beloved classic. And I was like, I hope they do all of that with this. And it's not. It's just a faithful remake, and that bummed me out because I was like, I didn't want this. I wanted Silent Hill to grow, not come back as it was. If Silent Hill continues to be the same as it was back then, the same thing's going to happen. It will fail.
I was starting to mention this yesterday with you, but I wonder if they're like testing the waters to see how many people like this style of Silent Hill. And then maybe they'll come out with a new game that's a bit more, I don't know, different, and see which one resonates with audiences more. To know how much they need to change, if at all, with their games moving forward.
The interesting thing is, there's another Silent Hill game. There's 2 more Silent Hill games. Townfall, which hasn't come out yet, and then Silent Hill F.
Yeah. Silent Hill FU099.
and Silent Hill F is supposed to be a totally brand new game. It's its own thing. It's a new entry within the franchise.
That's the one I'm most excited for.
I also would assume that it's connected to the short message, which was that first person free to download.
Yeah, but that didn't do very well.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, it did?
It did.
Something else must have come out that didn't do very well.
That was Silent Hill... something with a C, I think.
They're trying. They're trying a lot of things.
They are.
I think it's because Silent Hill did fail and die away for quite a while
because it's Konami.
And I think, yes.
let's point the fingers where they deserve.
Right there. Konami.
Konami's tears.
And I think they just don't want to make the mistakes they made last time. But because they're Konami, they don't know what mistakes they made.
Yeah. Well, you got Metal Gear Solid Delta, which is a remake of 3.
Yes.
Is it going to be the same as this?
Who knows?
Here's one more thing. Bloober is the guys who made Silent Hill 2 remake, and they are notorious for making horrible games. Like, they make shitty games.
Dang.
They've even acknowledged how bad their games were and wanted to praise how hard they worked on Silent Hill 2.
Oof.
And I'm like, it's still not good, dude.
Well, at least comparatively, it's
They've
better.
got a new game coming out. It's not Silent Hill related, but I was just like, no. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I'm still gonna beat it. I want to see what the ending is.
Which ending you're gonna get? Probably one of the bad ones. I'm gonna be honest. Are there any good ones?
No. Well, I mean, the best ending you can have is to live in Silent Hill peacefully.
No, those words don't go together.
Yeah, they do. It's a beautiful town.
No. Even beyond the, like, evil interdimensional thing.
Yeah.
Ugly ass town.
I don't know. I love that you can barely see it.
That lake.
Yep. Can't see that lake that well.
Horrible.
Yeah, it's a town, but it has a giant hospital.
I bet the prices are pretty cheap, though, for homes.
Yeah, but that's the weird thing. They're like, the monsters scream like humans when you hit them. Mm-hmm. And then there's only a few humans around.
Yeah.
And you start to wonder, like, are the monsters actually just normal civilians that I'm just gun insane and I'm killing?
I don't think you're in the same reality as reality when you're fighting monsters.
No, there are 2 different realities. Right?
Yeah.
There's just the regular foggy-ass Silent Hill, right?
Yes.
And then there's the nightmarish thing.
Yeah.
Where it becomes rusty and metal chain-link fences. And
isn't it different for everybody? Isn't everybody's Silent Hill different?
Yes, but...
So you're sitting there, you're fighting your demons. Eddie is eating his like tub of ice cream, and his demons might be completely different.
Yeah, it's the ice cream.
it's the indigestion he's gonna have.
I hope you washed your hands before you dipped your hand in there.
All his monsters are toilets.
Yeah. So there we go. That's Silent Hill 2. The question last week was, have you ever played with a Ouija board and did anything happen? Okay. 12 votes.
Nice.
Thank you for everyone. Only 25% of them said yes. But I got no comments on what actually happened. I got one funny one. Thank you for that.
Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily like the taboo of the Ouija board that deters the majority of people from doing it. I think it's that Ouija boards aren't common.
They are. They're not taboo. It's a board game.
Yeah.
It's just people want to control you over what you're doing, and they're like, you could speak to ghosts, that's evil. You can't.
Yeah.
They don't work.
If they worked, we would have more scientific proof.
Yeah.
They don't.
The fact that 25% of the voters here said yes but never gave an example makes me go, did it actually happen? You know, you would have to add more to it, because I'm just not sold on this process.
What was the original game with the Ouija board? Because it wasn't made, like, they didn't create it with the intention of speaking with the dead out of it. What was the original thing you did?
That is the intention.
I thought they made it for, like, a different kind of game, and then a bunch of, like the Fox sisters, like a bunch of frauds used it and claimed they could speak to the dead with it.
I'm pretty sure it was just to play around and spell silly things.
Back in the day, when your board game is just spelling.
I don't think the Fox sisters were playing with Ouija boards, because they had their own thing, the seances.
Yeah.
Which, if I ask that question, have you been in a seance, has anything happened? If any of you say yes, you're immediately lying.
Yeah.
I know the history of it all too well. That when I see it on television and they're in seances and they're like, oh, something touched me, I'm like, I'm so done with you. It's fake.
Jeez.
I'm looking for substance here. So, thank you for answering that anyways. Box office trolls.
Box office trolls.
Sorry, I'm clicking around a lot. Smile 2.
Oh, came out.
People are liking it.
They liked the first one too.
Yep.
I didn't like it much, but good for them.
It's weird because it looks like Smile 2 is very different than Smile.
It does.
Like, it's a totally different team.
It's like Saw and then Saw 2. Like,
Yeah.
Saw is the original that starts the idea, and then the rest of the franchise just goes in a
They
different
didn't
direction.
even keep the same color scheme.
Yeah.
You're like, the lights are a total different shape. They're like green now. It used to be blue.
Yeah.
But that's when Saw really takes off, is once it broke away from its first one. And I see what they're doing here. They love to do these long sequel heavy franchises with these horror movies. Look at Scream.
Also, Smile is such an easy one. You don't need any props.
Nope.
You don't need anything. You just need people who can smile kind of creepy. I can't believe they haven't gotten that one guy. Oh, who is that actor? He was in Peacemaker. He's that very tall, gangly fellow.
No.
He can do the creepiest faces.
That guy,
He would be amazing in Smile.
he's a great actor. I can't remember his name. He usually plays like Nordic kind of people.
Okay.
I think because he just looks that way.
Yeah.
And he is big. But he was in Hell on Wheels.
Yeah.
And he was called the Swede. And he just tormented the main character for seasons on end. He wasn't even the main villain. He was just a problem. And every time I see him, I get this, like, I don't like you, I distrust you. And yeah, he's got that smile that just, you're like, this guy's evil.
Yeah.
He's a great actor.
He was very funny in Peacemaker.
Yeah. Peacemaker is a great show. Number 2, The Wild Robot.
Good for them. It's
4
gonna stay up
weeks
there
in.
for a while.
Yeah, I mean, not much is coming. Number 3, Terrifier 3.
Good for them.
Number 4, Beetlejuice.
Eh.
Number 5, We Live in Time.
What is
Well
that?
said.
We live in time. Oh, I think that was... I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure this is the movie you thought was the Andrew Garfield,
It's okay.
Florence Pugh.
You all need to be naming your movies better. If I can't recognize what your movie is by its title, you've failed.
There's Joker 2, Joke's on You. That's number 6. And number 7, Piece by Piece.
Okay.
Number 8, Transformers 1.
Okay.
Number 9, Saturday Night.
Cool.
Number 10, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Of course. Figures.
Number 12, Hocus Pocus.
Oh, good for them. Only the first one, eh?
And number 14, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Nice. Still in the top 20.
Yep.
Good for them. But you can watch it streaming. You need to buy it or rent it.
Well, now the physical copies are out in the stores.
Wow.
I already have my digital copy.
Yeah.
Okay, what we watched? The Penguin. We finally caught up. We watched the last 2 episodes.
We sure did.
We saw the one where she was blamed for being the hangman.
Uh-huh.
Dogs.
Sorry if you can hear them bumbling around. It was... I liked the backstory episode for the hangman better, because at least, like, we learned something.
It was so boring.
It was... Both the episodes were really boring.
You knew what was coming.
I did.
And I was like...
That's the thing that pisses me off, because I know who the Penguin is, I know what he does, I know what role he plays in Batman's story, so to drag our heels 5 episodes in to be like, this is our new base of operations, and it's like, I know where he's going to go. Can we get there?
Yeah.
I thought he was already there on the movie. When we watched the movie...
Yeah.
And to learn that he's actually, like, 4 steps back than I thought, just makes him a lamer character.
I love that there's definitely not a quality control issue there when the movie looks amazing, despite what little you can see, because it is a dark film.
Yes.
Obvious reasons.
Like lighting-wise.
Yeah. And then you look at Penguin and you're like, this is just a set. This isn't even cool.
They spent all their money on Colin Farrell's makeup and fat suit.
Yeah.
And his accent is infuriating me. It's just, I can't take him seriously. It's too much. It's too cartoony. It's too over the top. Everyone else is a realistic person, and then here comes this cartoon of a character waltzing on set. And I just cannot take it seriously. My suspension of disbelief has been broken.
I guess he works better in a situation where you have Bruce Wayne, who also is being a weird character.
Well, there's a man in a bat suit.
Fighting you. And then you get the Riddler, who gets on top of his victims and breathes heavy.
Yep, that was the first thing that happened in the movie.
And then you got
set the tone real well.
Yeah, Catwoman, and a little bit of Joker. But yeah, he would match their crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and the reality of it, he's total cartoon-ass character walking around Gotham.
I really thought this series was going to use its opportunity to start introducing the beginning of other pivotal characters. Like, introduce us to other characters who might end up being in the Rogues Gallery.
So there's a rumor that due to Sophia Falcone, I thought it was Falcone, and then her brother said Falcone. And then they kept saying Falcone, and I was like, where's the scripty?
Yeah, exactly. Can we just pick one and stick to it?
Yeah, so apparently because of how popular she is, they want to have her in the Batman Part 2.
Okay, that's fine. Just the Hangman, though?
But then that tells me she isn't defeated by the end.
Yeah, that also tells me that they weren't planning on having her in it. So whatever role she's going to play is going to feel shoehorned in.
It should properly end with the Penguin killing her and taking over.
Yeah.
He has to kill both of them and win.
There was this brief, cool moment when she was in Arkham, and she was sitting there, and she met her roommate, Magpie. Yeah, the neighbor Magpie. And then there was that one girl who, like, would repeat the last few words she just said. And I was suddenly, like, in interested mode. I'm like, oh, is some of these characters who could be coming back? Is someone could be another member? And no, they all died. Anyone who was interesting died. And nothing is happening.
No. She's got that creepy doctor who's into her. She tried to kill... No, she killed her whole family. She fumigated them.
Also, her backstory with Arkham, so typical.
Yeah.
I kept waiting for something interesting, like a new twist.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was the same
electroshock therapy.
Wow.
I haven't seen that before.
I know.
Lobotomy. Ooh.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest that came out in the 50s. We're still doing that.
The movie's not from the 50s.
The book is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read the book.
You didn't see the movie?
I did. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Chief Broom is amazing.
when you realize that it's not creative because all this stuff has been done before. The second episode with Penguin I thought was way more interesting. I'm opposite of you.
Yeah.
I don't care about the mafia stuff. I thought this was going to be a story of the Penguin killing the mafia.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted to see. How is he going to be this Kingpin character if he's
not Kingpin, he's Penguin.
Oh my god.
No, I agree. It's just, we're spinning our wheels. It did not need to be this many episodes. It's boring.
No, it should be almost over, right?
I hope so, because, man, can something happen?
They
Please?
stabbed Clancy Brown, but he didn't die.
I know. He's a big guy.
Sends his regards, Shiv. Run!
Yeah.
Mr. Krabs is angry. So, Agatha all along.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We're almost done.
Yes. There's this week, and then next week is 2 episodes, and that's it.
Yes. We got a backstory for teen.
Yep.
Billy.
Wiccan.
William.
Which is even very confusing.
If you go ahead and yawn first.
It's very confusing because he's not Wiccan. The spirit of Wiccan is in him.
Yeah. I don't know if it was an excuse for casting a different person.
It feels like it.
Or if it was like this is an intentional thing. But I don't know.
Also, I don't know. Wouldn't they kind of look like Vision?
Kinda. Maybe. Well, I don't know what's happening with the boys who were playing Billy and Tommy before.
They weren't real.
Well, I mean the actors.
Oh.
I don't know if they're still interested in acting, if they still want to do this Marvel thing.
Well, it wouldn't have worked if you casted one of those kids in it and you're like, who is this kid? And somebody would just be like,
Yeah, you look at their IMDb page and like, oh, well, that's Billy from WandaVision.
Yeah, he's standing right next to them, smiling in the family photo. So
Yeah.
There you go. That would be a dead giveaway.
I like Teen, and I like his actor a lot, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
His backstory was fine. It was a fine episode.
What does it mean that the tower reversed?
Oh, the tower. Okay. Okay. The tower is the
Darkhold.
No, in tarot, the tower, the lightning struck tower is the card that signifies like ultimate doom, and like not just death but misfortune overall. Reversed means something good can come out of it, but darkness is still. He died, and then was reborn. That's what it meant. That's what she was alluding to.
Why was he reborn?
Because Billy possessed his body. The first boy died, the second boy lived. That's what it was.
So there is no brother.
There is a brother. He said he feels Tommy somewhere out there. The boys have possessed other boys' bodies, presumably.
Oh boy. We got a bunch of dead boy detectives around here.
No, that show didn't do very well.
No. Well, you tried too hard with that one.
It just, the first episode wasn't gripping enough.
There's gotta be a place for CW-like shows.
You would think Netflix would be the place.
Yeah, I think the dollar bin selection of Netflix is a great place to watch bad ideas just drown.
It's true.
The weird thing, Netflix, so they make their own movies. Sometimes they make a good movie.
Very, very rarely, but they can.
Like when I was doing the Geico stuff and I saw the commercial with Leo in it, and I was like, oh, that was a Netflix movie they made.
It was surprisingly good.
Yeah, a lot of praise. They have Beef. Season 2 of Beef is coming on the way. They got Oscar Isaac signed up for it.
Nice. Every now that Netflix does have things.
They're going to show off 2 football games on Christmas Day.
Wow.
This is a first for them.
But more importantly, The Great British Bake Off is on Netflix.
Yes, The Great British. It's a good show.
It is. Everyone loves Nellie.
Who's Nellie?
She's the, like, very tall Scandinavian woman with, like, a very thick accent.
Yeah.
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 She's great. A treasure.
Wasn't she trying to give...
She's been flirting with everybody.
Yeah. But you know she's not. It's just her personality.
Noel accidentally broke her... he destroyed her caramel that she had sitting there.
And then he ran away.
like a lad. And vacuumed his mess.
Yep. Agatha all along, it was the shortest episode of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Or the series so far. It needs to hurry up. Now that we've gotten this big reveal, let's get to the end of the road.
Yeah.
I want to see what's at the end.
I am glad that the last 2 episodes are going to be the same day.
Yeah.
So
What about the other witch?
did they all die? Oh yeah, Rio is still alive.
Rio is somewhere out there.
Mm-hmm.
And Rio has to come back because Rio was introduced in the first episode as a large threat.
Yeah. He ran into everybody in his backstory except for Rio. Suspicious. Did you
Yep.
catch that? Did you catch everyone showing up in his backstory?
Yeah, I saw them all.
Yeah.
And then there's the 7 sisters, the 7 Salem witches.
Yeah. Which I think they're just meant to be like, those are the bad guys. Like they're not characters, they're concepts, in my opinion.
That's just gonna bum me out if that's true.
I mean, it'd be cool if
I
we
want
got
to pay off.
some.
I want to see like cool. You got a Maximoff and Agatha,
Yeah.
which, according to the show, she is Jolene from the song.
Is she? Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I was like, that's cute.
That was cute.
Some fan was like, no, this is Jolene, because they were all wondering what we were wondering. Who is Jolene?
Technically,
She's
Jolene,
got some words for her.
Technically, Jolene is supposed to have red hair.
Okay, you can always dye it.
You
She
could.
is a witch.
She is.
But yeah, you got 2 powerful witches in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
You got 7 bad guys. Let's
Yeah.
have a fight.
It would be cool.
I mean, it is a comic book.
Let's comic it up.
Yeah, let's get it all funny.
I'm excited.
The worst show on television right now.
We already talked about Penguin.
Is Only Murderers in the Building.
Yeah, this season,
It's not funny.
it's plotting.
The reveal of who the murderer is already doesn't make any sense.
It's not.
It's just bad writing.
Yeah, the thing is, every episode is them just like blundering around doing quote unquote comedy for the entire episode, and then in the background, one thing moves forward one step, and they're like, haha, a new lead. And their new lead is always just go find a person, that person tells them something, and then they go find the next person, and that person tells them something. There's very little actual detective work.
Yeah. It used to be a much more solid show at the beginning. We've talked about this last time. Mm-hmm. And now it's just, they're just falling into these goofy situations to get a cheap laugh.
And
They had to go find Ron Howard.
Yeah. A big thing is they keep bringing up the plot holes from season 1. Like that's a plot point of this season, is that there were plot holes left from season 1.
Yes.
And I'm like, you've shot yourself in the foot, because now I'm thinking about all of the plot holes and how from all the seasons and how they've gone kind of nowhere or gotten retconned or reset back to the beginning. I don't know. I don't think the show has much legs left to stand on.
No, also your stars are getting way too old.
Also, the millions of celebrities, it's getting tiresome.
Yeah, it is. The Paul Rudd, like, literally using him as a crutch in this season.
Yeah.
He was a main character last season, but he died, and that was kind of the whole point of the mystery, is who killed Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
The fact that you could just bring him back as his body double, and now he's got an Irish accent?
It really kind of diminishes the point of it.
Yeah.
And also, his performance was so good last season, and this season, meh. Like, he's there, I guess.
Yeah, he plays a good junkie, if that's what he was going for.
Yeah.
He's very sporadic like that. I'm just not having it with that show.
No. It's almost over, I think.
Yeah, it should be. Should be. But, okay, that was coffee break.
Was that it?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh!
You want to talk about what you got coming up this week?
I'm still doing daily Ruby reviews.
Nice.
We're in the middle of Volume 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be great.
Nice. You got anything coming up? You gonna stream?
I am gonna stream. I don't know what it is yet, necessarily.
Why wouldn't you stream the game you've been playing?
Well, because I already announced that I want to take a break to... There's another, like, a Ruby memorizing game that I want to play on stream. And also, someone did fan art, like a critique fan art of my Ruby Reversed Fates designs. And so I wanted to go over what they had to say. So I don't know which one I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to do one of them this week.
Okay, nice. I know I said last week there would be a Deadpool and Wolverine review. I needed a week off. Mm-hmm. I own the movie. I've seen it a few times now. I like it. The review is coming.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's going to be this Tuesday
Yeah.
or another Tuesday.
But it will be.
Because I have another project that I really want to work on. And I'm kind of in the mood, and it is Halloween season.
Nice.
So just know this. Saturday, Silent Hill. Tuesday, there will be something.
Cool.
And it'll be sitting there waiting for you. Okay, that was it.
Yeah.
Hope you guys have a good week. Isn't it?
It's the second to last week of October?
Yeah, but isn't it like Canadian Thanksgiving tomorrow?
Oh, is it? I think it happened already, actually.
Is it the 22nd of October?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. Well,
Happy Canadian Thanksgiving.